Hi, my name is Nick Cook and I'm with Sleep Sound Property Management. And today I'm going to talk to you about a new ordinance that is going into effect in the city of Portland. Now this ordinance just affects the city of Portland and there are two components to it. The first one is notice of rent increases. So normally you give a resident 30 days notice prior to increasing the rent. This new ordinance now requires that you give 90 days notice if that rent increase is going to be more than 5% over a 12-month period. So if you're going to be increasing the rent more than 5%, you need to give the resident 90 days notice. The second component to the ordinance has to do with termination notices. So one form of termination is termination without stated cause. You see a lot of news organizations and frankly even the city council referring to it as an eviction. That's a completely separate issue altogether and they are not the same. But in this case what they're saying is that if you're going to terminate a tenancy without stated cause, you need to give 90 days notice instead of what is currently required, which is either 30 or 60 days, depending on how long the tenants lived in the property. Now, this new rule ordinance goes into effect on November 13th, so that's coming up pretty soon. You want to make sure that you comply with that because the damages are 3 months rent plus actual damages and attorney fees. And so what that means is if your rent is $1,000 a month, you could be looking at a fine of $3,000 plus other costs associated with it. So definitely make sure that you're following this new ordinance. There are some people that have some concerns about the rent increase period because in the state of Oregon, rent control is prohibited, and some people see the new notice period as a form of rent control. And so we'll probably see this challenged, at least in the courts. It's hard to say when that will happen, but I'm sure somebody will come up and say, you know, I don't accept this ordinance through the city of Portland. That's not what the state law says. So we'll find out there, but in the meantime, you're certainly going to want to take care of the ordinance and get your ducks in a row and follow it to avoid those penalties.